and Met police officers have been accused of misconduct can still be promoted, a leaked memo has said. And we're going to read into this exclusive from iNews, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an exclusive from iNews with the headline that the Met police officers accused of misconduct can still be promoted, the leaked memo says. The exclusive reveals that a leaked letter from Sir Mark Rowley to Met police officers set out how the force is supporting officers under investigation for misconduct. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share it across social media so others are notified of this video. This is once again adding to the compoundment of how I feel about police officers and their togetherness. Now, obviously, I understand that police officers need to look out for each other and whatnot, but the very fact that just this headline of saying that they could still be promoted despite the misconduct is very, very questionable indeed and raises a lot of eyebrows. There are already so much scrutiny that I have given to the Met Police on this channel itself, and I know many of you have also shared some of your stories about how the police have, whether it's directly treated you or someone that you know, where you feel that the Metropolitan Police or police in your area have not been in any way helpful to you. And there are, without a shadow of doubt, many, many questions that need to be asked. But one thing that I've always said, that whenever police officers are accused of misconduct or whatever actions, whether it's any kind of case against them, it shouldn't be looked at by the police themselves. It should be by an independent body, separated from the government and the police, to look into these claims on police officers. It's something that I've always advocated for, and I still believe it should be something that it can be looked into. And I think that's how it should be done. I don't think the police should be policing its own investigations, because it's just too biased, in my opinion. And just this headline itself really does cause a lot of anger looking at it, because this could be the case for some police officers who may have done worse than misconduct potentially. I'm not saying that's the case, but it's entirely possible. And the history itself of police officers has been really, really grim. So how this has been, why they're doing this, is just of a case of police officers looking out for each other no matter what. But this is why I do believe if you take an independent body to look at the matters, then it puts police under even more pressure to make sure that they are following the law to a T, and that they're not being misconduct and they're not breaking ranks. Because then, if you take it away from them, that they can't basically look at their own misconduct, basically, even if their officers are supporting them, they can't be helped in that situation because there's an independent body to throw the book at them when they are not doing their jobs properly. So the Metropolitan Police officers are being investigated for misconduct could be allowed to continue to work without restrictions and remain eligible for promotion, a leaked memo from Sir Mark Rowley reveals. In a letter sent out to officers and staff shared with the the Met Police Commissioner set out what work the force is doing to provide officers under investigation for misconduct with greater support. The Met face unprecedented scrutiny, with Sir Mark under increasing pressure over failures to tackle sexual abuse and misogyny within the force's ranks, exposed since the death of Sarah Everard in 2021. Sir Mark has also faced wider challenges of waning morale and poor staff retention following a series of scandals. There have been so many scandals. The scandals has just been really, really bad image for the police as well. He says an internal gateway team is in place with the Met that is working to carry out fact-checking of allegations against officers before they are reported to the Independent Office for Police Conduct, the IOPC. In cases where the force determines that officers have acted proportionately and in line with their training, it is likely that complaints against them would not result in a voluntary referral to the IOPC. See, if this was independent as it states it is, we wouldn't have so many police officers and so many cases and issues of issues that we've had in the last 14 years with them. So I don't buy for 1 second that this is independent. A Met police officer told the Sir Mark's comments were shocking to receive as they came only a week after Lady Elish Angiolini's report exposed missed opportunities for the force and others to stop the PC Wayne Couzens. Another said they believed the letter was sent out to appease officers subject to investigation, and those believe senior leadership is pandering to a small minority of critics. Sir Mark has made clear in his memo that the approach is still being consulted on, and that it is not and shouldn't be seen as a mechanism for the Met to get around legitimate scrutiny. Well, you're not ruling out promotions here, so. But one officer told the timing of the message, published with the Met's internal website on March the 7th, couldn't be worse. What we need is humility, they said. The indicative of the Commissioner and of police services is just incapable of ever reforming. This is exactly this officer here. This is why I don't believe in police reform now. I've given up on this purpose of police reform, and is why I believe that we should build a new police force and bring down the old one. I've said this countless times on numerous videos, guys, that it needs to change. Reforming does not work. I think we are all in agreement of that. They added that the comments were equivalent to sticking two fingers up to the relatives of Miss Everard, as well as Nicole Smallman and Bibba Henry, murdered sisters whose bodies were photographed by Met Police constables who shared the images on WhatsApp. Leaders in the Met need to listen to communities, and they need more scrutiny, more accountability to make sure there are no more Couzens, that there are no more officers that took photos of Mina Smallman's daughters, Nicole and Bubba, the officers said. In her report, Lady Elish called for the rationale overhaul of police vetting and identified how police investigations repeatedly failed to spot red flags about Couzens before he joined the Met. In response, Sir Mark said there was an urgent call to action on all of us in policing, adding that the majority of my Met colleagues share my determination to reform. And yet we still have not seen that reform, guys. The Economist's figures reveal that the Met has launched more than 700 investigations into police officers, as nearly 3,000 reports were made into its anti-corruption hotline in the first 18 months of its operation. The Commissioner said in his letter that a group led by the Associated Commission Pippa Mills is considered how the Met could be better support officers under investigation. Some cases would likely be dealt with the Met's Directorate of Professional Standards, the DPS, rather than the IOPC, with a presumption that they wouldn't face restrictions or suspensions and they would still be eligible for promotions, secondment, commendaments, even while the conduct investigation was ongoing. See, this is like, we're talking about while the investigation is ongoing. Like, why would any kind of promotion be considered for anyone who's under investigation? It doesn't make sense. There's no logic. Like, it's and let's just say hypothetically, right? Person's under investigation, gets promoted, and they find guilty. So what? You know, it's like promotion for being bad. It's just, it doesn't work. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, guys. We believe that sustainable proportion of cases that previously would have been dealt with as conduct matters could be filtered out as a result of his work, the Commissioner says. The IOPC last year found that investigations of claim against rapist Met Officer David Carrick were not progressed years before the full scale of his offending was brought to the light. 6 officers being investigated by the IOPC in relation to Carrick worked for the DPS. So Mark makes it clear that the approach he outlines is still being consulted on, and he claims that it is likely as only a small number of cases would meet the criteria to be filtered out of the IOPC's considerations. We'll be setting a high bar, he says. But one serving officer had told the Eye he preemptively is the push that is going to come back to him. If the bar is going to be set so high, then why not just use that in the policy? Why not communicate that to the wider workforce? The Met has recently come under scrutiny over its handling of pro-Palestinian protesters, including the Prime Minister, who claimed earlier this month that the forces were managing rather than policing demonstrations. In his internal memo, Sir Mark says we've been much more willing to set the record straight in response to viral videos, challenge media reporting of officers' actions, and get out of challenging incidences. They have been doing that. I have seen them online when viral videos come off of certain actions by police officers. They have responded I started responding to a lot of them, whether you agree or disagree with whatever that viral video of police officers are. The eye understands that black officers within the Met are concerned that statement fails to address the racial disparities in disciplinary action and refers to viral videos is of particular concern. Yeah, no mention of any of the black officers, no mention of the racism because it's institutionally misogynistic as well. No mention of that I've heard either. That's a good question. They reference high-profile instances, including the 4th of July 2020 stop and search of sprinters Brianna Williams and Ricardo dos Santos. That was pathetic. That was really bad. Their arrest, which took place while their baby was in the backseat of their car, sparked allegations of racism and resulted in 2 officers involved in the stop and search being dismissed without notice. In 2021-2022, black officers and staff were 81% more likely than their white counterparts to have internal misconduct allegations brought against them, the Baroness Casey report highlighted. The general feeling is that black and Asian officers and staff are being relentlessly pursued by the Met, yet when our majority colleagues feel under attack or persecuted, the Commissioner runs to protect them, one insider told the Eye. The Metropolitan Police Service said it did not wish to add any further comment beyond the Commissioner's statement to staff and officers. It feels like that, one rule for them and one rule for another, doesn't it? Yeah, when you read the end of that article, end of this story, guys, it really does feel that way. And do I think that, like, I still think there are some officers that are very good. I still have that belief. I know some people will disagree with me, and that's fine. You can disagree with me and think all the Met Police officers are equal. But I do generally believe there are some officers out there that do great work, and I've spoken before about 1 or 2 that I've come to know, and I think who do a pretty decent job nonetheless. I'm not going to name names for obvious reasons, but yeah, it's a very hard time for black and Asian officers because of the colour of their skin, and it's not right in any way, shape or form that they should be treated indifferently simply by the colour of their skin. But the problem is that our police force is institutionally racist, and there's just so many problems, guys. There's so many problems with our police force, and they're just going to keep carrying on. And I don't think replacing the Commissioner is going to fix it either. I know some people are saying, like, Sir Mark Rowley, like, I don't think he's not going to fix the problem, and I don't think replacing him is going to fix the problem either. And that's just kind of my opinion. That's why I think reform doesn't work, and I think tearing it down and building a brand new police force is a solution here. But what do you guys make of this story? What do you guys make of officers accused of misconduct can still be promoted, still under investigation? What do you guys make of the Met Police and this so far? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you found this video interesting, please hit the like button, be greatly appreciated. Share this across social media and hit that bell notification icon so you'll be notified when I upload another video. And if you want to financially support me in the work I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content there as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.